3, 2, 1. Hi, Chris. How are you? It's Thursday.
Rob, we're ahead of schedule.
Yeah, we were creeping around to Sunday, and now we've come all the way right back to...
Do you know why, Rob?
Fabulous Thursdays.
Do you know why?
Because we're busy.
Well, because we're busy. You have never walked so many dogs.
I've never walked so many dogs in my life.
Tell me about your field, Rob.
My fields, if you were flying over with a plane, you would see the words that I've written over and over in the grass.
Rob.
With my walking paths.
Hold on. Is it like crop circles?
Lewd crop circles.
No, Rob, what are you writing? Bad words? Not good words?
No.
Really?
Yeah, Canon sucks.
No. Have you written Canon sucks? Could they see it from the air?
Maybe if they have a satellite.
No, Rob, you're on the flight path.
Oh yeah, I'm definitely on the
You
flight.
are advertising. You could Rob, I think I've thought of something incredible.
We should start sell advertising.
What would people love more than dogs that are getting walked? Okay. And there's a nice message. Now, it doesn't have to be political. It just can be a message. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's really, really good. BJP. You know, I'm going New York Times. You know what I mean? I'm going PhotoWorks. I think all that stuff could work.
Sure. For sure.
And then they start sponsoring you and the dogs.
How's your week been, Chris?
Rob, I'm going to be honest with you.
Feeling better?
Week 4 of COVID or week 3 of COVID, I can't remember. It's all blurred into one. Am I? Yeah, I am. Definitely. I'm not at death's door. Fingers crossed, touch wood. I'm still very fatigued. I'm still very tired. I'm still getting hallucinations. But the worst thing, the headaches. I'm not saying this has been designed by anybody, but if it were to be designed and you're going to give something to somebody to really fuck them off.
Well, it was designed. We know that. It was designed by that Wuhan, biotech warfare
good
virus lab.
Good for them, because they have really done a really good job. To try and put somebody off their stride, a good 9-day headache, of migrainous headache, that tablets don't even take away. No tablet will take away. Now, I've got some new tablets from the doc today to try tomorrow, but the beautiful side effect is that they make you vomity. So I've got it's nice. I can either be a very headachy or vomity, one of the two. But has it stopped me making work, Rob? Has it? Shit. It hasn't stopped me making work.
Well, that's good, Chris.
I'm there.
Keep them busy.
I'm there. I'm making work. I'm making work around how much I'm confused. The whole thing. And your dog thing hasn't helped. Your messages, your lewd messages. I now have a fear of clouds. Do you know what that is, Rob?
No.
Let me tell you what that is, because I've just been researching it. I actually have a proper old phobia. It's called nephobia. Nepho. That's really nice, actually. Nephobia. The term comes from the Greek words nepho, meaning cloud, and phobia, meaning fear. So now I'm actually scared looking at the clouds in case I have hallucinations. What do you think of that there? So
now you're gonna try to get your insurance company to pay for you to live the rest of life in Spain?
Rob.
Because otherwise you have PTSD about clouds.
Rob, you and I need to chat about this offline. Rob, how many stories have you today? 3. 2. Don't tell me it's been a light week.
Dude, I just looking at I still get it. I get it. You know, the new Apple, computer chip is amazing. It's going to be wonderful. It is going to be wonderful. It's going to go so much faster, like 4 times faster.
If you have a new Mac.
But, only if you have a new Mac. Yeah. But I mean, they're talking about using, new Mac Minis that I guess have been released already with this new chip with 16 gigs, and they're processing footage from the Red camera, 8K raw Red footage.
Fuck.
And they're doing, what else are they doing? They're doing something. something in 4K with the footage in real time. I can't remember, but it's crazy. It's really crazy.
How much is it?
$699 or something.
No, it's not.
For a Mac Mini?
Are you serious?
Yeah, for a Mac Mini. Maybe it's $699.
Yeah, but okay. But could I hook that up to my Mac and use the screen?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
No.
Why?
Because you need a proper monitor. But yeah, it's crazy. I mean, geez, dude, you can go out and
I know.
pick up
you said a curse word there.
Decent monitor for £300 or something.
So for £900, you've got a super duper.
Yeah, £1,000.
Does that outstrip your running system at the minute?
I don't know. I don't know.
That must,
I know that they're talking about the specs for, and that's running through DaVinci Resolve. Mm-hmm. That's not running through Premiere. No Adobe products yet. I haven't heard specifically about any Adobe products and how fast they're running yet. But I know that they're having issues with Photoshop and stuff running right now. Yeah. But they will within the next short time start running natively with this new M1 chip. But I mean, either way, it's
a jump.
Like, this is going to leapfrog. Leapfrog way out.
Okay.
I mean, if you're a serious photographer and you're running a PC, you need to take a step back and look at what's out there now. Even at 16 gigabytes, a 16 gigabyte Mac Mini, and you're processing 8K raw footage from a RED camera.
Yeah. Imagine thinking about
that's crazy.
If you thought about that a year ago, you'd be. It would be incredulous, wouldn't it? You just wouldn't believe the whole thing.
Yeah.
Is that your story, Rob?
No, not.
Oh, for Jesus, you do this every week. You've got 3 stories. You start off with a bit of fluff. You think it's fluff, but it's so gripping.
Okay. Hold on. Let me see my story here. What's my story? Oh,
are you reading this?
Yeah, I'm going to read it because my printer maintenance tank is
unbelievable. Are you reading off the screen?
Yeah, I'm going to do a quasi teleprompter.
And for all the slagging you give me for the months and months we've been doing this, and here you are now.
So I don't know if you remember this famous photograph of the couple, husband and wife, on their front lawn with their guns drawn.
Yes,
from the George Floyd protests back in June.
I do, yeah.
Their names.
We need to do Salt the Chump again, by the way, just so we can say that. But anyway, go ahead. Sorry to interrupt.
So their names were the McCluskeys. Mm-hmm. They were both attorneys. And obviously, they don't like photographers taking photos of them and not being allowed to use them for their own gain. Mm-hmm. So William Greenblatt was the photographer. He took the photo during those protests back in June. It became his most famous photograph he took, except that the McCluskeys now feel I can't even read my own words.
Annoyed.
No, they feel that he took the photograph from them because they live on a private lane.
Oh, Christ.
And he was trespassing on their property to take the photograph.
Wonderful law.
So he does not necessarily have the full rights to the photograph. Yeah. So what's happened is they took that photograph that he took, and they've used it for supposedly like greeting cards or something. Mm-hmm. So the photographer
has sued.
Came back. Yeah, Greenblatt. Well, he came back to them and said, cease and desist, and here's a $1,500 bill. Mm-hmm.
They countersued.
Yeah, and they're countersuing. They're countersuing, saying that he was on their property, and and this photograph has led to an amount of emotion and turmoil in their lives and all this kind of shit. Okay. At the end of the day, it comes back to that old, whose photograph is it's, and they're taking it to court. Okay. It's going to go to court.
In what state?
But at the end of the day,
Michigan?
It's no, St. Louis.
Okay.
At the end of the day, no, that's not the deep south. But anyways, at the end of the day, it's the photographer's photograph. Mm-hmm. He may have taken it on private land, but it was a newsworthy story. Mm-hmm. happening,
Of course,
on private land. So if he took a step off the sidewalk and onto somebody's lawn to get the photograph, it doesn't matter. It's a newsworthy photograph, and it's for the news. It wasn't for advertising or commercial purposes. It was news. So, I mean, they're going to shoot him down on that, let alone, the fact that to turn around and to countersue him, it's asinine.
But they're
totally asinine.
They're lawyers.
They're lawyers. So, ambulance chasers, probably.
Allegedly, Rob. They might hear that. Well, this is.
They might be. That's what I said. But anyhow, that just sort of. I just wanted to bring this up because, this comes back. You and I have spoken about my turmoil over last summer about copyright. And the fact that I got screwed. And I remember back in the day when we were shooting film that it almost didn't really matter who took the photograph.
Okay, yeah.
But who purchased the film?
Yeah, no, I get you.
To go into the camera.
Yeah.
So who owned the film? Who owned the material to record the photograph? And they became the copyright holder.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, I don't know how that's working now in the digital age, but last summer I did a project.
Big project, Rob.
Where it was my camera, my computer. I rented the lighting. I paid for the lighting. I paid for everything. I fronted everything. And at the end of the day, I got screwed. And I won't get any further than that. I'll leave it at that. But that's my first story.
Rob, so I like where you're going there.
Everybody be careful. You need to understand who owns your photograph. And you need to understand if you're being employed by your employer or if you're on a work for hire.
Yeah.
So if you're an employee, your boss always owns your image. If you're on work for hire, you own the image.
Yeah. Or if people aren't sure, contact Rob and pay him a large amount of money, and he will tell you what the crack is. I'm just looking up where.
But the other thing too, Chris, is this is where it sort of overlaps, because if you're on a work for hire, and
you sign a contract,
the employer gives you the camera to photograph it on. That's where it starts to get really gray again, because by rights he has the rights to those images.
I've been grey a few times, Rob.
Right.
But it's a really interesting, because I think a lot of people don't realise what the crack is, and they can kind of get, they could make a mistake pretty easily.
Big snafu.
Snafu. I was just looking where St. Louis is there. I did make an awful error. There is a St. Louis in the deep south, but it's obviously not the one you're talking about. I had a pen pal there called Eric. It was an easy mistake to make.
How's Eric these days?
Eric's really good, actually. He left the deep south because he was voting for he voted Democrat and didn't get on too well with his three neighbours, so he's moved out.
Wow.
But he's doing okay considering. Would you like to hear some lovely news, Rob?
I'd like to hear some
excellent news. Okay, here it is.
Lovely.
Here's some lovely news. The PPA, which is the Independent Publisher Awards, have announced their Writer of the Year. Who do you think that is, Rob? Who would it be? Who would the Writer of the Year be? Who would be my favourite writer?
Oh, Brad.
No. Well, it's not Brad. Brad is an amazing writer.
Oh, sorry, Brad. Sorry you didn't win.
Brad wasn't in the running. There was 3 people up for it, and Brad wasn't one of them. If he were,
no,
but he wasn't. Tom Seymour.
Who won? Oh,
and let me read this.
It would have been Brad or Tom. Sorry.
Well, Brad. You know what? What Tom wins, Brad wins. I always think. Okay, but listen to this here. The writer is covering powerful subjects and articles, and have a depth that takes you into the environment that he is writing about. When a picture is worth 1,000 words, it takes a special writer to make the words, but the words that accompany those images meaningful. That's a nice, wee, succinct little thing, isn't it? So Tom has won the PPA, the Independent Publisher Awards. I couldn't have been happier. Also, we get engaged. He probably doesn't want me to say it on here. It's nobody's business, I suppose. But congratulations on both those things. I've already said that to him anyway, personally. But the PPA thing, just, I talk with Tom's writing all the time because, as everybody knows, I hold it dear. And there you go. There you go. I feel very content and happy with that. Good. And not only that, Tom's going to do some stuff for Belfast Exposed. What do you think of that?
Wow.
Writer of the Year, doing stuff for Belfast Exposed for the Futures programme. But we'll talk about that again. We're going to talk about that. I'm going to do a special on the Futures programme with all the artists and all the crack that's been going on, because I think it's good that people know stuff that goes on. Can I move into my second?
How many stories do you have tonight, Chris?
3.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Rock on.
Okay. My next one is what I love, Rob. What do I do whenever I'm not feeling well, whenever I'm not hallucinating out the windows and being scared of clouds?
Drink rum?
Well, rum drinking is pretty high up there. Although at the minute, it is very, very causative headaches.
Rum and ginger ale? I hope it's quality ginger ale.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's organic.
Like a boutique-y sort of artisan?
Yeah, it's organic.
Ginger ale?
It's Sainsbury's. It's as boutique as I can get with my meagre earnings. But, yes, the rum. But I love nothing more. I spend a lot of time in bed because I'm tired. I'm fatigued, they say. I'm fatigued. My doctor told me I was fatigued. I had to take it easy. So, I spend a lot of time, well, not any more than usual probably, but a lot of time just looking at different artists. Stephen, this week I became Stephen Gill for a while at one point in my own bed. I convinced myself I was Stephen Gill, thinking about what I would do. But anyway, photo works, as we know. How I feel about photo works. I can't. These are the things I keep thinking to myself. I should stray away from stuff that I'm into, and then I think, fuck off. I'm not going to. I like it, and it's educational and it works. So photo works. Okay. So here we are, and I found Renata Bolivar. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, Renata. And she has done a series of images. Well, let me tell you this. She's a Colombian artist who studied at Madrid and then went on to the ICP School in New York. And she currently is based in Bogota. Okay, I know I'm pronouncing that right because my cousin...
Bogota?
Did I pronounce it wrong? Shit.
Bogota. There's no tar in Bogota.
I said Bogota.
Bogota.
That's what I said.
Bogota.
That's what I said.
Bogota.
You keep saying it there.
Olivia just poked her head in the door and I was going Bogota.
She thinks you're crazy. Well, I called her Dick earlier on thinking it was you, so I have to apologise for that from me. Anyway, her latest work, Vestiges, Highway Nights, is a way of seeing in the darkness of the evening. And essentially she's went through scenes that would be previously considered very high risk in Colombia. And they are kind of Dennis Jesus Christ. Rob.
Dennis Hopper.
I nearly said Dennis Hopper.
Hunter Thompson.
Don't make it worse. My mind at the minute is like Hunter.
Bill Murray.
My life is Hunter Thompson at the minute.
Johnny Depp.
Don't, because you make me dream. You might give me weird dreams. I'll be scared of artists then. Who did the photographs of the gas stations, for flip's sake?
Oh,
I can't believe I have to actually look this up.
Not Stephen Shore.
It's not Stephen Shore. You're crazy.
No, Jeff Wall.
No, you're even crazier. You're crazier than me. Edward Hopper. Jesus Christ.
Hopper. Those weren't photographs. Those were paintings.
That's what I said. Did I say photographs?
Oh,
I'm sorry. Yeah, well, Stephen Shore you actually went far wrong with. The other ones you were crazy. So anyway, she's done these beautiful. Do you know how I love? Do you know how you always say to me, "It's underexposed, Chris. Chris, it's too dark." It's too dark. Well, Renata and I are friends because she's doing these beautiful scenes of lit buildings in Bolivia. It is just in Bogota, Colombia. They are just
No R.
Bogota. That's what I said. Bogota. Rob, Rob,
Stop at the A. Don't add an
I'm
R.
suffering from long COVID. You fuck.
Long COVID.
If I want to put in a fucking Z, Bogotas, I will do it. Go gentle into the night, my dear friend. But anyway, the Renata Bolivar.
Renata. Does it end with an A or an I?
You know what I'm going to do?
It's Renita if it ends in an I. It's Renata.
I said Renata.
If it ends in an A.
Renata?
No, you said Renita.
It takes a very special person, Rob. To actually,
You and that rum.
I'm drinking rum. I was just drinking.
Whoever gave you that rum,
whoever
gave you that rum should
be ashamed of themselves. I'm drinking Coco de Mall. What you got there? Coco de Mall. And I know I'm saying that right. Or should it be Coco de Mall?
Coco de Mall.
Coco de Mall.
Coco de Mall.
Coco de Mall.
Coco de Mall. Okay, moving on.
Go ahead, Rob. Give me your second.
Renata.
Yeah, Renata.
Finish off with the Renata.
No, that's it. That's me. It's Renata Bolivar. Go into your Instagram account and go. I'll put the links in. Go and look at the stuff. Beautiful.
Follow her.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful.
Definitely. She got Instagram.
Yeah.
Follow her.
And only 3,000 followers, which is kind of bonkers considering how good the work is.
Great.
But I'm into
that.
I've only 4,000 and my work's incredible. So go.
Well, I have less than 1,000. So
you
don't
do.
worry.
Kind of makes sense. No,
I have less than 1,000.
no, you don't.
Yeah, I have way less than 1,000.
Jesus, Rob, you need to put on those white tight shorts, your Stetson.
And I got like thousands of posts.
You do? Oh, me, I've like I know 50,000 posts. I just love posting. I think I spat a wee bit there.
Oops.
Like, go tell me your next one.
Facebook is being threatened with state and federal antitrust laws over their acquisition of Instagram
Really?
back in 2012. They reportedly bought it, so Mark Zuckerberg says, to neutralize a competitor.
Yeah.
Now, personally, I really couldn't give a shit about Facebook, but yes, since Facebook got Instagram, the ads and the algorithms have definitely changed to a more hard sell tactic. In my eyes, they are buying up the competition, and it shouldn't be allowed. It would have been very interesting to see how Instagram would have grown organically over the years without Facebook.
Or died.
I don't think it would have died. Remember, what was it? Hipstamatic?
Oh, I know. Yeah. No,
That was the one before Instagram. And remember how popular that was? And then Instagram came out and it just blew up.
Well,
Like, definitely Instagram would always be there.
Yeah.
But it would have been really, really, really interesting if it wasn't so aggressive with the algorithms and it just sort of, your interests just gradually grew through the population of photographs instead of leapfrogging through everything. Like if you spent too much time glancing at a dog in front of a Frank Gehry building, all of a sudden you've got tons of Dalmatians and tons of architectural photographs.
And do you know what, Rob? Like I am very supportive of not that I'm the person to be supportive of, but I'm very supportive of people who have done courses and everything else. So whenever you start, that's where the algorithm kind of gets you in a sense. You know what I mean? Because I have two very defined interests. One, I want to be supportive, but I also want to be engaged. And those two things aren't necessarily... Now, I'm engaged with the supportive stuff for sure, but I also want to be engaged with stuff that, Renata, you know what I mean? I want to... There's two different lives in a sense, and that's where it does get you. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
if you can't balance that, and how do you balance that?
Exactly.
I'm not going to count my likes. You know what I mean? Or my who I like or what I like.
It might be. You might be focused more on European
Yeah.
architectural photographers, and all of a sudden you lose all the photojournalists in South America that you were trying to follow.
Do you know what I?
You know, and they don't show up for a couple.
Do you know what
of months.
I do now? To counter that, I go back like 2 years ago and see who liked my images, and then I go in and like their images. And that kind of that.
How's that working out?
Well, so it's actually okay because it's kind of balancing things ever so slightly. I'm not sure. I'm only maybe 4 weeks into it, but it's definitely bringing back people who I would have been closer to with regards to liking stuff and stuff that I was following that I haven't been seeing for a long time. So I just go in, I just skip down, I fly down to the thing, go into it, pick maybe 10 people and go in, pick 10 people I was really interested in following and start going back in and following that stuff. And it's working. I'm seeing more. Cool. I'm seeing more stuff every day that I wanted, because for a while there it was kind of
stale.
It was stale. It was definitely stale. It was kind of, because I don't do Facebook. I do stay Facebook for birthdays and looking at a site called Old Korean, because I'm from Korean and I love looking at photographs of old Korean all of a sudden. But yeah, for the Instagram stuff, because I love Instagram. For me, and I think it's a really good place. You can get good education. You know what I mean? But.
So you got a last story?
I have a last story, and the last story is about education, Rob. It's about
3 minutes.
No problem, I can do it in 2. Who do I talk about? I talk about the stuff I like. Nearest Truth, number 105, Hard Greenberg. Okay, and Brad said this is perhaps one of his favourite episodes of Nearest Truth so far, and he's recorded just under 150. I think it's maybe over 150 now. But it's amazing to catch up with arts creators in the field. But Hard is a photographer and a historical enthusiast, so he's a collector. Okay. And we know that Brad has done a fair bit of collecting in his day, so it's really nice. It goes in and it gives you. It's not what you would maybe presume it to be, but it is just a beautiful listen, and it is just takes you through Leo Levinstein, Saul Leiter, probably pronouncing that badly, Jacob Rees. Edward Steichen. There's just a wreck of stuff about collecting.
Edward who?
Edward Steichen. You know what, Rob? You're a dick. S-T-E-I. People won't warm to you, Rob. People will not warm to you if you take the fun. But people will think you're cruel. Edward
Steichen.
I've actually I've read. Anyway, I've gone redder. I have a reading age of 11, Rob. I have a reading age of 11.
It's all right, man.
And you're laughing at me.
That's Edward Steichen.
No, but that's okay.
Steichen.
It's okay for you to say, and you're big with your hair and your broad chest and your busy background. Edward Steichen.
All right, dude.
No, you feel bad.
Do I feel bad?
Do you love me, Rob?
You're the best, dude. You know it.
That's not.
We are running into 29 right now.
That's okay. We have a minute for you to tell me you love me.
You're the best. I always tell you that you're the best.
Being the best and being loved is very, very different. I think my bed sheets are the best because they're fluffy and comfy. Dude, I love them.
Look, you want to talk about your bed sheets and then ask me if I love you?
Yeah.
I think you need to separate those two sentences
I want
far
those
away.
Two sentences to be very much firmly squeezed together into a Rob and Chris sandwich.
Don't squeeze. No sandwiches. No squeezing. No kissy sounds.
That's not us. I'm eating a sandwich. What sort of sandwiches do you eat? Rob, people are writing me in huge amounts.
Huge amounts. Chris, have a great week. You're the best. That was a great outro. That was great. That was gold. Now you. No, you're totally done. You've been done for about 20 seconds. Yeah.
Again. Do you know what I done? I didn't have my fucking mic plugged in.
Microphone's plugged in?
Yeah. That's us now on loudspeaker.
Okay, loudspeaker.
Yeah.
And are you recording?
Yep.
Okay,
recording here. 3, 2, 1.
Sorry.
And you're on speakerphone, right?
Sorry, Bob. Yeah. Thank God I noticed that.